and come off of the call stack. In order to do that, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click on this button where it says Run and Debug, and we'll get this side pane, and you can see right here it says CallStack. And then I'm going to come down here to the left of the number that's next to where it says function 1 in the main function, and you can see we get a red dot, a dark red dot. But if I actually click this, it turns into a bright red dot. And what that creates is what is called a breakpoint. So the code will only run up to that point and stop. And then I'll come up here to this drop down, and I'll select Debug C and C++ file. And when I do this, what I want to do is ignore what is on the terminal there, come up to the three dots, click on this, and choose Debug Console. I'll click on that, and you're going to get a bunch of information here that you can ignore. I'm going to right click and say Clear Console. And you can see when I did this that this line of code is now highlighted. That means that's the line of code that is about to run. And on our call stack, we have the main function. That's the function we're in down here. And then up here, we have this button that says Step Into, this downward facing button. So I'll zoom back out here, and when I click on this, it's going to run the next line of code, which is going to be function 1 down here. So I'll click on this, and you can see that function 1 is added to the call stack. And because it's at the top of the call stack, that is the function that is running. Now here, because function 2 is highlighted, that means that's the next line of code that's about to run. And I'm going to click Step Into again, and you can see that function 2 has been added to the call stack. This is the next line to run, function 3. I'll click on Step Into again, and now function 3 has been added to the call stack. The next line to run is going to be this, and when I click on Step Into, it will output 3 to that debug console. Now function 3 is done running, and when I click Step Into a couple more times, it is removed from the call stack. Now function 2 picks up where it left off, and now it's going to output 2. So I'll click Step Into again. That gets output to the debug console there. And then I'll click Step Into a couple more times, and function 2 has been removed from the call stack. So now with this line, we'll output the number 1. I'll click Step Into, and that has been output up here. And now function 1 is about to be popped from the call stack. I'll click on Step Into a couple of times, and now that has been removed. And 321 has been output to the debug console. So while this example is not recursive, I wanted to do it this way because it makes it easier to understand the concept of the call stack. But in the next video, we will look at a recursive example of how things go onto and come off of the call stack. As we get into the course, especially with the recursive functions, I'm going to recommend that you create a breakpoint and step through this to see how it is all going onto and off of the call stack. But for now, that is our quick introduction of the call stack.